until 2019, there wasn't really a lot of women doing stuff in Orlando. I feel like 2019, 2020, like that's when like more women started doing stuff. But before then, everything was ran by male.
Yeah, always. And it's still very male dominated.
Dominated by male. And
I know we talked a little bit about women in the music industry earlier, and a quick Google search on women in the music industry will bring up quite a few results, but most of them will quote that women are still missing in the music industry, especially when it comes to being behind the scenes. I think I can say we know a little bit better than that when it comes to like the smaller, you know what I'm saying, like on a smaller scale, because like I could say in Orlando it's a lot of women, you know, not maybe necessarily on like a larger frame of like promoting and like artist management and things of that nature, but I think especially like behind the scenes as far as like female producers, I've seen a lot more of that. Yes, what do you think?
Definitely. Yeah, there's a studio. I remember one of my first time coming across Jacka Studios. They were all female producers, female engineer, you know, just the owner. Oh man, but everybody else was a female. I was very impressed.
Yeah, they had a lot of interns too. I feel like that was a starting point for a lot of people who I see right now doing really good in Orlando.
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of female interns in our team as well.
That's dope.
I think we try to have majority girls, and I don't know, I'm a girl, so this is easier for
girl
me.
power.
But you know, like, I think the other reason is because like 2014, 2015, I feel like during that time, until 2019, there wasn't really a lot of women doing stuff in Orlando. I feel like 2019, 2020, like that's when like more women started doing stuff. But before then, everything was ran by male.
Yeah, always. And it's still very male dominated.
By male. And but I think now there's a lot more women that's willing to speak up, and a lot more women that's willing to mentor and help other women get to where they need to be. So I appreciate that, because when I started,
you want nobody. A lot of males.
Now I'm struggling.
Yeah.
It's all about how you carry yourself, so you gotta show them that you know what you're talking about. You're serious, you know, and you can do the same thing.
Even then, it can still be hard.
Oh yeah,
especially like when you're in a room with like these label executives and stuff like that. Like, this music industry is no joke.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? I used to like now I don't pay venue fees like that, so it's not the same. But before I used to get charged
yes.
And they charge females more than they'll charge.
Exactly. So I would ask other men that I know do events at certain venues. I'm like, what are you getting paid? They're like, I'm not paying. I'm getting cut at the bar. I'm doing that. I'm like, what do you need? And I was just like, hold on, time to out. Like, come on.
Yeah, but we have to pay our dues though. Cause I get
but I feel like some of these people, because you go to these events,
we have to pay our dues.
No, you compare. If you compare and contrast your event compared to those people that don't have to do nothing to get the venue, it's like, what?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna pay my.
I think you grind a little bit more. I think you grind a little harder when you got like some skin in the game. So like when you're paying for that venue, like, because you grind it to one, make that ROI, but then also to like, you know what I'm saying? Max out on ticket sales. It's not easy.
It is hard. So kudos to any women that's doing it now and successfully doing it.
It is not easy. That was actually my first question in my notes, was like predominantly male, you know, music industry here in Orlando. It's been really interesting. It's been interesting. It's a lot of dope people out here though. So I feel like it's all about relationships, which I've always held near and dear, and like going out networking and meeting people also for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, you know, he say, she say, you start talking to a lot of people will tell you about certain things, but really based off of their experience with that person, and you never really know, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's good to work with people, understand them, and then you can kind of figure out, okay, if this is something like, if we're going to continue working together, or like we want to, you know.
Well, not everybody gets the same version of someone.
What I was about
to
say.
Yeah.
Everybody knows me differently. Our relationship is different. My relationship with you is different. Everybody. It just really depends.
It's important to take that into account.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I love it though.
They don't do for me what they did for you. You're not me.
Exactly.
Okay?
Like, how do you get all these little treatments? I don't get none of that. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you know, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I heard you got an event coming up. What you got coming up, Jen?
Oh, she said, which one?
Which one we talking about today? The one that you were just talking about where there's no tables left.
Oh, yeah,
I heard.
there's no tables left. Yeah, so I have an event coming up. It's called the Fusion Awards.
Okay.
I bought the last table.
I think you probably did because this guy bought like 5 tables all at once. I thought that was madness.
Okay.
But the Fusion Awards is our version of the BET Awards. That's how I put
Central
it.
Florida BET Awards.
Facts, the Central Florida BET Awards. It's just my way of saying thank you.
I'm sorry, we're gonna say the BET Awards out of there because I feel like what you're doing is going to surpass the BET Awards, and I feel like honestly, once like people really get a hold of what you're doing and what you're trying to build, and the fact that you're a Black woman actually curating an awards ceremony, recognizing artists when we know that BET is not Black owned, so we're not even gonna act like, you know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the event though.
Yeah, the Fusion Awards was created to give the artists that are a part of the Orlando community music scene their flowers. I wanted to do something that's not just, always, hey, you perform and you perform here, you perform there, but like, recognizing people for performing, recognizing people for doing their art like they're doing it, and putting out music and being a creative, which isn't really easy and is super expensive and can be very depressing. And I think like having a day where you don't really have to think about nothing but getting your flowers from one night is deserving. I think the artists that we get to work with and see on our stage deserve it. Whether you win or not win, it doesn't matter because it doesn't define who you are. I'm just saying thank you for making this community what it is, because the reality is, I can sell, me by myself, I can sell tickets to my events all day because I have friends and family that like to come to my events. But realistically, they're coming to see a show. They're coming to see these artists perform. And if for whatever reason all these artists stop doing music, then a lot of us don't have a job. So like, they're really the reason why we do this. And I love the Fusion Awards, regardless of what people think of it. I think like over the years we've grown. I mean, we've had our conversation about all the things that I have planned. I'm just excited to not only do this, but to include other platforms. And to just kind of like bring everybody together, because I feel like that's probably the one day that every platform is going to be in the one room together.
Yes.
And
I have found a way to kind of like include everybody that has something going on to do something at the awards.
That's
whether
awesome.
it's presenting an award or doing the the live stream or doing the interviews or doing the radio.
Loud session.
Yeah, we have so many different aspects of everything. So